Alvaro, welcome to Talk Satellite.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It's a pleasure to be here.
You too, Alvaro. Can you bring us up to speed on Integrasys as a company and your growth journey presently?
Yes, basically Integrasys was founded in 1990. It was founded by my father and a mother, and he was working in HP, and there was a requirement from Telefonica to do software, and HP didn't want it, so they spin off with few engineers, and now 36 years later, here we are with a lot of solutions, with huge growth from a local company oriented into projects to a product company, also providing services and projects and etc. and around the world. So having both customers, we have about 150 customers around the world. We have about 14 offices around the world, and we provide excellent support with follow the sun initiatives. So it's never a sunset in Integrasys. So we are very happy with such a journey. We have been able to grow in number of people, in number of offices, in number of products, and in customers, always internally, with those investments coming from our cash flows that help us to do it a little bit slower but safer. And we have been very, very successful serving those customers that could be civil or military. Every day we see how our government business grows, but also we continue to have our initiatives to demilitarize some of our products and technologies for the future when government is not needed or defense is not needed anymore, hopefully one day soon.
So you have a long history of working with space agencies on projects such as ESA and NASA. Can you bring us up to speed with?
Absolutely. So with ESA, we are working since many years, and we are doing now the test beds for the IRIS² satellites. So those satellites, the manufacturer for IRIS², they are going to be tested with our test bed in European Space Agency, which is excellent, as well as we designed part of the constellation many years ago. And we consider that we are in an excellent position to materialize multiple of the work required, especially in cybersecurity, electronic warfare, and many others within the constellation orchestration, monitoring, you name it. Additionally to that, we have been awarded the first contract with NASA. We are very proud to be tracking the Artemis 2 mission that has been delayed a couple times, but it's a very promising mission where a crew platform will orbit the moon, reaching the farthest place in space that we have ever reached. It's very exciting to be supporting NASA. It's such excellent missions. We look forward to supporting more NASA missions in the future, but it opens the door to deep space exploration support that we never did before. So it's the first project, and actually this technology was developed in Luxembourg for the Luxembourg Space Agency. So how one development has been supported by that space agency and now is supporting another space agency in a very secure manner. Now also supporting ESA in LEO PNT products for alternative GPS, supporting in multiple products to defend the European warfighters from challenges. So very excited of that work.
Encompassing the geopolitics situation has to be taken into account these days.
Yes, absolutely. So geopolitics are more tense than before. The uncertainty in the world is very high, and the speed that the world is moving is very rapid. So the more information the governments gather, the better. There is Earth observation. That would be an eye in the sky, signal intelligence satellites or signal intelligence antennas. That will be the ears in the ground or space. So in that regard, it helps a lot to gather information, to characterize whether it's a plane or a ship or something else, or whether it's characterized as signals that will give a better decision-making for the governments in order to, in this very rapid evolving geopolitical instability, better decisions for their country. So whether it's national security or whether it is more focusing on military operations, but having better information is absolutely critical. And many times AI-driven tools can help on that significantly, as there is huge amount of data available.
Looking at the markets, there's been a major pivot towards defense. And is this Integrasys experience too?
Yes, about 7 years ago, we had a very successful project that was able to eliminate signals from communications. And this positioned us very well in order to provide defense resiliency. Then the war of Ukraine started with Russia-Ukraine started 4 years ago now. And we did not create the need for such a technology, but the Russians did. So they created a huge need as they were jamming communications in many ways. And it was a very good timing for our solution to be deployed very, very widely in many use cases, whether it was SATCOM, whether it was radios, whether it was telephony. So being able to protect different kind of connectivity use has been a huge part of our business now, with work in Ukraine, work in US, work in NATO, work in Europe a lot, as well as in Asia Pacific, as in Pacific region has become also more contested. So in that regard, we were aligned by default with defense, but also the signal intelligence has become more and more interesting based on the geopolitical that we were mentioning before. So it has a lot of traction as well. So whether it's geolocating signals or observing, so some of our customers, they were saying, okay, I know the signal is coming from, but I need to see what it's going on there. So to be able to process an image with AI has become very, very relevant for defense and understanding that environment. So we have managed to create many models that interconnects between each other, benefits from each other, and this way they give a solution to a problem. So very focused into solving problems for the end user, and our users being military, whether it's special operations, whether it's intelligence or any other type of provider, but helping them much into solving the current problems and adapting to the new problems that they arise. Because when there is a solution and then a new problem comes, and it's a race to make better technology and better solutions to many problems that might happen.
On the regulatory front, what do you see in that segment?
Well, we have seen that SpaceX has acquired licenses from EchoStar valuing $14 billion, which is very significant. And why might be? Because maybe there will be one monopoly telco. And that's a threat for whether it's the regulators or whether it is the telcos, because the regulators need to regulate the licenses in their countries. If there is someone that can compete unfairly with everyone, it's gonna last very little, those telcos. So we are regulating a lot the LEO constellations, the NGSOs, and how they provide connectivity, how they affect the current satellite service, and also how they do affect with the direct-to-device. Direct-to-device requires more power, and it's much more intrusive. So we need to make sure that the Article 21 and 22 of ITU are met. So we designed a very exciting product that is called LeoReg, and we implemented as the first system in the world that can regulate satellites in orbit. So it's not about the filing. We're regulating the filing, but the ones in operation. I can be someone who launches constellation and I say, oh, I'm going to behave and then do whatever I want because nobody is monitoring. So now we have systems around the world that are monitoring this year. We deployed 2 systems. The first one was South Korea, and it was extremely successful and very, very fun work. Actually, our integrator received an award from the customers. Very, very nice. So extremely glad to do that, and we are monitoring quite well those NGSO and making sure they comply with what they promised.
As a whole, what markets are you seeing opportunities?
So we have been seeing a lot of opportunities in Europe. As GovSat conference was saying, sovereignty. It's important to not depend on any other country, that potentially you will be supported one day and unsupported another day. It's you shouldn't be vulnerable. So for government, that's important. So we are seeing how Europe needs to be less dependent and how Europe needs to count with European companies to do so. In the other side, also how Europe needs to take the lead of NATO, as we need to spend more and lead more. In Asia Pacific, we have seen similar environments where Japan is opening up to more trusted partners, whether it's Taiwan as well as Korea, as well as Philippines. They are working towards having more partnerships, and they are welcoming Europeans to do business as well. So for us, have been an excellent market late last year. Middle East continues to be a market of growth. We continue to work significantly with Saudi, with UAE, with Oman. So doing much more into those countries and growing. Latin America, we have seen a little less. US, we have seen that budgets are promised for the near future, but a lot of hold projects at the moment. How many parts of the world are doing great, and one part of the world is slightly delayed. But we see also opportunities in the US, and a clear path with contracts such as the one with NASA and others. It's unlocking that delay that we have been seeing the last year. But very, very happy with the overall performance, growing, happy to be diversified, because one market goes up, the other market goes down. But overall, a significant growth in the last 8 years that I have been leading the company.
We wish you every success, Alvaro. Thank you for coming along today and talking to us.
Thank you very much, Kevin.